Alright you guys, so figuring out what body type you are. Is it ectomorph, endomorph, or endomorph? Most of the time, people fall in between these groups. They are not necessarily strictly an ectomorph or a mesomorph, endomorph. To give you an example, I lean mostly towards being a mesomorph. And to break down what these different types are, ectomorphs, they tend to be naturally skinnier, leaner. They call themselves hard gainers sometimes, where they can eat a lot of food and not gain a lot of weight, fat or muscle. Then there's mesomorphs who put on muscle relatively easily, and then there's endomorphs who put on mass very easy, normally are heavier set, and they store more body fat on them. And I wanted to make this video because, like I said, I lean mostly towards being a mesomorph, and a lot of people feel that mesomorphs are genetically more gifted, that we have an advantage over everyone else. Whenever someone finds out that I'm a mesomorph, they're just like, oh, you're lucky, you know, oh, if I only had those genetics, kind of thing. And if you guys know anything about how I feel about genetics, you can watch one of my, or if you don't know, you can watch one of my old videos where I go on a rant about it. And the reason I get pissed about that is because each body type has its pros and cons, guys. Like, there's not one that's better than the other. And besides that, you can't change who you are, you know. You should understand who you are, figure out what your strengths are, and work on your weaknesses. And, you know, that's by learning what body type you are for this instance. So, you know, being a mesomorph, it's great if you want to pack on tons of muscle, but I have no interest in doing that. I actually train specifically so I don't gain muscle, because my legs and arms, they grow dramatically fast, and you know, I've done that before, and I hate wearing parachute pants, and I hate having to buy extra large shirts just so my arms and legs fit. It's ridiculous. I look retarded. I'm not even that tall. I'm like 5'7" tops, and so, you know, I really don't like putting on muscle for those reasons. But it's also a health issue, guys. Like, the fact that mesomorphs can put on muscle so easy, it grows a lot more rapidly than our bones, tendons, and ligaments can handle. Like, our other bodily structures can't keep up with how much muscle we put on sometimes in the sense of strength. So there is a lot of false sense of strength with mesomorphs, where their muscles are getting bigger and they feel like they're stronger. Outwardly, they look like they're stronger, so they think they can do more. But in reality, their internal structure can't keep up. You know, their muscles become like a weed, and it can be detrimental. And you know, that's one of the reasons why I have bad shoulders, because when I was younger, I didn't understand any of this about having to focus more on strengthening my internal systems as well. So, you know, it's not all sunshine and rainbows for mesomorphs. And, you know, there's the pros and cons to the other two as well. Endomorphs, you guys with your larger frames tend to have a lot more natural strength. You guys are usually gifted with that strength that I wish I had. I have to work so hard to build on my strength, but that is just a natural ability you guys have. Cons, your body's natural tendency is to store energy you take in, and it ends up turning to fat or muscle. And for ectomorphs, yes, you guys, it is a little harder for you to gain muscle, but it's not impossible. And I don't know, I feel like it doesn't sound that bad that you have to eat more food. I wish I could eat tons of food constantly, you know, and not put on weight. But you guys, your body's natural tendency is when it takes in calories to expend it rapidly and to get rid of it and not to store it. So you guys tend to stay a lot leaner, and that's freaking awesome. So just understand that each body type has its pros and cons. And like I said before, most people, they fall in between two categories, but it's important to figure out which one you are so that you know your strengths, but you know, more importantly, you know your weaknesses, because you're only as strong as your weakest link. So for me, being a mesomorph, I understand my weak point is my internal structure and that I need to work on that. I also know that my body will store fat and muscle relatively quickly if I don't watch how I eat, and I also know that I have to work on my strength if I want to, you know, ever be at the level of an endomorph. So knowing my body type, knowing my weaknesses helps me become a stronger person, and I highly recommend you guys doing that too. Peace.